Okay, this is Danielle Sherman, and I am going to be interviewing Mary on her flipped classroom in elementary school. So I'm just waiting for her to arrive. We're both a little new at this. I think this is her first time using it, so be patient with us.
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Let's see. Let me turn my volume up. Okay, do that again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, excellent. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
I'm actually in the classroom still, which is I was gonna head home, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick it out.
too. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
Yeah.
I really
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Really quickly, tell me where you're going to school?
Okay, I'm at Indiana University, and
Okay.
I'm studying elementary education. I'm a sophomore right now, and I'm through a program at IU. They have a computer educator license, so you take 4 or 5 classes and do field experience, and focus on incorporating technology into the classroom to like enhance learning and everything.
Cool.
So yeah.
Super cool. Very, very cool. All right.
And
Well,
can you
as
tell me more about yourself and how long you've been teaching and where you're at and what grade and everything?
Yeah, I've been teaching. This is my 8th year, and I've been teaching in an inner city district in Phoenix, Arizona. Um, I worked in really high poverty Title I schools for the first 6 years. I've taught everything from preschool, special ed, and then now I've taught until 3rd grade. So I've taught K first, second, third. I've taught ELD. I've taught special ed, and now I'm actually teaching gifted and accelerated, which is crazy.
Wow.
I've done everything. Yeah, yeah. So,
That's awesome. Okay,
uh,
so you've been doing the flip for 2 years, is that right?
2 years. Yep.
Okay, what made you like how did you learn about it and why did you decide to switch?
Sure. Well, it's more integrated because I still do everything the same. It's just like an add-on bonus for some lessons for me. I actually received an email, and it was like you can get one-to-one iPads for your students if you to flip your classroom. And so I had no clue what a flip classroom was, and I was like, one-to-one iPads? Well, I'm gonna do this. So I researched, and I did this extensive, and it was a district program. I did this extensive. Um, pretty much like a project displaying everything I knew about the flipped classroom. So I came in with some knowledge, and I was selected with, I think it was 6 or 7 other teachers, and we received an iPad cart full of iPads that we could sync lessons to. And that's how I learned. One of the parts was, I don't know if I read Jonathan Bergman's book and Aaron Sam's book at that time. I think it was that summer after I was accepted. Like, I saw some of their research online, but I was like, okay, I'll figure it out this summer after I get this application written. So that's how I learned about it. And what's crazy, though, is like when I went to do it, I could not find any early childhood, like
Hmm.
anything across the internet anywhere. I was like, okay, somebody's got to be doing this. I think there was like one like iBook, and it wasn't even like the flipped classroom model to me. It was different. So I kind of just went with it and figured it out on my own. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's something I really was interested in too after reading the Flip Your Classroom by Jonathan and Aaron. Like it
Yeah.
was great for high school, but I wasn't sure how it was going to work for elementary. So did you notice like after researching, did you have to like implement different things or how did that work to motivate your students to watch the
Um, well, they're just motivated by technology, and I can when we're done, I'll show you kind of how it works in my class. I can take you over there and show you. I did, at first I started with like longer videos because I was thinking in my mind if, and I teach right now just ELA. I'm teaching in a school that immerses the kids in Spanish half the days, and I teach the ELA strands. And so I thought, okay, with reading, what can I do? And so some lessons I would like model a whole story and show them a comprehension strategy. Some lessons I would just teach them a skill like I know online, I think I had one on YouTube that I finally took down. It was awful. I didn't realize it was up there for so long. It was like a Venn diagram, like how to use it, and I incorporated puppets and just stuff that works for kids, because anytime I put a piece of technology in front of them, even if it's like a brain pop video that I project, they're just like, eyes are immediately like stuck on it, like glue. So I knew if I videotaped it would be fine. So they're engaged. I have like made the lessons a lot shorter this year, and more kids are watching them. So I get more back, and it shows my, my little assessment shows they've been doing it, whether it be like a graphic organizer or just 2 or 3 questions, sentence frame that I ask them to fill in. I can tell more are watching it because they are shorter. I think they say like a grade level per minute. I think you can stretch that a little bit. Like, in first grade, a 1-minute video, they can handle a little more than that. So, yeah.
That's neat. So after every video, you do an assessment, or is there a way to see that they've watched the video by just?
There's not a way, because I do the videos myself. They're all of me. I don't usually use other people's videos because, I feel like I know the kids so well that I can say little things and incorporate different, little things I've taught them into it, and kind of like as a review too. So I create them all. I sync them to the iPads from my computer or from my iPad, and then they watch them. And then, like I said, I just do I send a quick assessment home. And usually, and maybe I'll get out the whiteboards in the morning, and I'll say, if I didn't have time to put a quick assessment and plan it, I'll say, okay, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Go ahead and show me in your whiteboard so I can kind of gauge who saw them. Most of the time, the kids are honest because they're going to know right away. They're going to feel that because they know I'm going to keep them accountable. They know if I keep them accountable, I know they're going to, they know I'm going to find out one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah. So what subjects do you normally, well, you're with English, right? So it's normally all reading that you do it with?
I've done, I did a series of social studies lessons on the economy in the fall because we were doing a class simulation, and I really wanted to spend that time on like the kids creating products, the kids like creating advertisements, the kids doing jobs. And so I flipped a lot of the social studies content. So I would like kind of read through the text with them. And they would have like my video, they would have their textbook, and they would be taking notes, and then they applied some of those things in class. So I've done social studies with the combination of reading. I've done even handwriting, which is kind of fun. They love cursive handwriting. They're at the end of 2nd grade now. They really are excited about it. So I've done cursive. I've done some phonics lessons when they were in 1st grade. I did phonics. Writing, modeled writing. I've modeled my writing on there several times. So it's kind of like what works and what needs to happen. So I can maximize that class time when they come back for them doing the work and working with them. Yeah.
So you said you do it like every once in a while. Do you notice, like you said, you had more class time? Have you been able to do a lot more activities because you have the video?
Oh yeah. Yes. Well, twofold. I think it's because I have more class time. So like we do a lot of project-based learning. Like specifically, I'm really into challenge-based learning where they take a big idea. So like right now we're doing one on sustainability, and they are trying to make our school more sustainable. So they've come to their solutions to build a class compost system. So it gives me time. I still am accountable for state testing coming up next week. I'm still accountable for all that stuff, and even if they are gifted, they need to know those skills. So by teaching them through the direct instruction on the videos, when they come to class, I don't have to worry about that as much. I'm like, okay, we've got the solid skills. I've checked for understanding. Now that sounds so silly because it should all be fun. I'm like, let's have fun. Let me walk around and help the kids apply it instead of just be at the front of the room the whole time.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. All right. So I don't want to take up all your time because I know you're a busy teacher. So
no, that's okay.
For pre-service teachers like me and like some of my classmates, what are suggestions you have? Like, do you suggest us going all out or just using it like as you see necessary, like you were saying? And then also resources that you would suggest we use, or videos to use, or even if is your channel, or would it be possible to like look at some of the videos you've made?
Yeah, I can definitely like let you. I haven't put them up there in a while. I will. I always do it in the summer because right now I'm doing national boards and I'm going back to grad school for a second grad
Oh,
degree. So I'm
wow.
like, but I always work on my stuff over the summer for teachers. But I'll make a couple available so if you can look at them, I can send you the links. Okay. So your first question
Sorry.
was
Sorry.
no, no, no,
Um,
no, no. You're fine.
should we go all out or just like,
Okay.
when we start teaching, if we want to flip, should we just focus on find ways, oh, I think I could do this video and this will save up class time like that? Or
Yeah.
like do everything?
I say you have to know. My biggest thing is knowing your students and knowing the parents you're working with, and if one and even support and the tools that you have because it does take a lot of time to create those videos.
Mhm.
And then plan those projects. It's a time, but it's worth it. It really depends on you, your students, and again the parents. The parents, I have amazing parents who support it so heavily that I can count on them, like making sure it's routinely watched at home, and they're accountable for it just as much as the children are. And if the iPad doesn't come back, they know that I email them or I call them, and it's expected to be here every day because we also use it in class and integrate iPads into the classroom. So it kind of depends on that. I think if I had more time outside of the school day to do lessons, I would send more lessons home. I think in the upper grades, like the mastery learning where it's going home all the time or using some sort of systematic program where videos are done, I think it can work. But for me in my class, I think flipping where I feel like it's going to maximize time is what works for me. Resources, I think teacher videos, your own teacher videos, your kids know you, you know them, you know how to engage them and say those cute little things that like make them want to do things for you or perform a skill. So I think those are the strongest types of videos. I think resources, I think that's it. It's just technology and make it as like I think I said to John Bergman and everyone, I said the first year I did it was messy. It was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a video going. I need to feel comfortable with this, and I would make it 5 or 6 times, and then by the middle of last year, I'm like, I don't have time to do this. If I have a little grammar mistake, I'm going to say, oh, I said it wrong, and just keep right on going. So yeah, and just trying it, giving yourself a chance to just try that for kids, and see how the kids react, and even ask them. Even 6 and 7-year-olds they're honest. They'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Like it's not like a whole commitment necessarily, like to do everything, and you can just do little at a time. That's
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think what else. The channel, I can put some up on there. What else do we use? And I think I was going to touch on, I think a big, huge aha for me is most of my parents watch the videos with their child. So the power in that itself is then they're able to have like the conversations with them or say, when Miss Sleasman said, we're talking about advertisement in your video, do you see that right over there? And like to be able to make those connections in the real world that I can't do with them, I think is really powerful.
Yeah.
And we also do a huge parent meet at the beginning of the year. It's a mandatory meeting where parents come and they learn the relevancy of the program. Like we pretty much do a quick, short, pretty much lesson on why we flip our classrooms and what the benefit is. And at that time, the parents signed an agreement, and it's like we kind of make it seem like it's serious business so that they will jump on the bandwagon. And our administrator really heavily supports that, which is nice. And like anytime somebody forgets an iPad or I'm noticing things aren't happening, I go to the parents and I'm like, what's up? How can I help support these at home? Can they know exactly what I'm asking them to do, which is reinforce watching the videos so the kids are prepared to work in class and apply the skills. So
yeah. Thank you for telling me that, because that's important that you're on the same page as the parents.
Totally. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, but thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, especially for the little ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to waste any of more of your day. Did you say you were gonna show me a project that was going on or something you were
I can
doing?
show you. I'll do a quick little tour. And
Okay.
I really like technology, and I don't. I feel like I'm just touching the surface of it, but yet
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot. So what I work with, I can just tell you since you're in this class, is I have HD projector, and then I have an Apple TV, and I have my iPad. And so in the classroom, what happens is the kids and I can actually mirror our iPads to the Apple TV. And so, like, if, say, Ian or Sydney has something and they want to show their work, especially if we're applying skills, I can have them quickly mirror. It's up there. I can walk around the room and not be, like, tethered to the front of the room, which is really nice. So that's been nice. Even when they come back, like, I just had them actually do a home project of, like, author's purpose, where they had to find real-life examples. And in the morning when they're eating breakfast, they throw a couple up there from their seats. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of natural routine in our classroom, and that's how we share work. Let me, it's kind of hard. I don't know. Let me see. Ooh, I see. So over here, this is pretty cool. And you know, you don't need this. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, here we are. You don't need this technology to flip your classroom. It's just made it easier. And you know, I've always thought, like, if I go somewhere else, I think it'll be a good challenge for me to flip without having one-to-one iPad. So
Okay.
I was locked. I can just show you. So I just plug things. So once I create my videos, I sync them to my iMovies. I take them. Sometimes I make them on my iPad. Sometimes I do like a screen casting of like a PowerPoint, especially for vocabulary words, and then plug them all in, and it syncs up to each iPad, and then the kids are able to go in. They look at their videos.
I love the green cases.
I know. I think we got them for a discount. I think everybody knows. And so then you can see, then I just have the video rating right there, and the last one I had was like a handwriting one the other day, just a review.
I think it froze on me, but
yeah, and it's
all right. There
it's a little fuzzy. Yeah. So that's kind of how the kids. I mean, the kids know what to do when they come in. I just kind of set the expectation from the start, and they do it.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's our classroom.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for taking this time. Have you talked with a lot of teachers? Because I know you're like super excited about this and everything, or have you just started talking about your classroom?
Last summer we went to ISTE, the International Society of Technology and Education, and I presented with my coaches. This summer my independent proposal got accepted, so I'm really stoked about that. So I'll be going back and just presenting on K2 flipping. I was the only K2 teacher in the district last year to flip, and I have another teacher at another site who I worked with a lot. She's flipping now, and I have 2 more teachers on campus flipping in 2nd grade with me this year. So it's kind of like, you know, the more it makes sense, and the kids love it. They're engaged and they're learning, so people want to do it. So yeah.
Most important. So yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Is there anything else you want to add to future teachers? Any advice or a push for it?
Yeah, I just think once you try it, it becomes a lot easier. At first, I think it was a little overwhelming. Like, I hated hearing myself, even like on a microphone. Like, that gave me stage fright. And now it's like, you know, you get over those things, your insecurities, especially because you know when that iPad goes home, I can count on probably, you know, 24 children and could be 40 adults watching me teach every night. You know, and you just got to get over that and say, it's what's best for kids. So I need to get over that and figure out. And your lessons get better over time. It's like a little machine that runs after a while. So yeah. Well, let me know if you have any other questions or need any other links. I do have a blog. Sometimes I post videos up there too. And
okay, awesome. Yeah, I'd love to get the link to your blog.
Yeah, I'll send that to you after we're done, just in an email. So.
Okay.
I gotta write down my big list here. All right. Well, have a good
night.
Thank you again, Mary.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.